Mamma mia, it's been a hot minute since I uploaded a commentary video. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the Stanley YouTube channel, the most dead channel on planet Earth. For like the past 8 months, it's basically just been memes, to be honest. But I'm finally back, at least for now, and today we're going to be talking about something Haxer kind of brought to my attention, or not really my attention specifically, but kind of everyone's attention, because me, Haxer, Rented, and Pumpkin Man, all those people, and like a couple others, we have a group chat together, and Haxer posted a video about past lives, saying somewhere it's like, people don't believe in God, and then they believe stuff like this, and I decided to give it a watch, and oh boy, there's some interesting things I have to say about this video, so anyway, let's just dive right into it.
So I woke up one morning and decided, hey, let's do a past life regression. Trigger warning for anybody that's not mentally stable who has anxiety. Please don't do this because it literally messed with me for a good couple of days. So in my deep meditative state, I saw myself as a white female, light brown hair, and I had a daughter. I was wearing clothes that kind of resembled like medieval times, and I was out with my daughter picking fruit or like harvesting something. Then I just remember these men in black horses came and they separated me and my daughter and were calling me a witch. As I was watching my daughter get pulled away from me, the men took me away and slit my throat. And when they slit my throat, I honestly choked up and started crying. Like, it felt so real to me, and I just didn't even know how to feel. Up until this day, I can't wear turtlenecks. I can't keep anything close to my neck. I feel like it suffocates me. It just triggers something in me.
Kind of hard to believe you can't keep anything close to your neck when you have a necklace on your neck, you know? When you said you couldn't have anything close to your neck. I like how she doesn't even go in depth on what she's wearing. She just says clothes that resemble medieval times. And to be honest, that could literally mean anything. That could literally mean from like a crusader knight outfit to like literal rags. She also said that she was being killed for apparently being a witch, which, you know, that's kind of vague, you know. What was she doing that could classify her as a witch? And also she had a daughter. You know, she could at least, you know, said maybe some made up name that actually sounds convincing instead of just saying daughter. You know, the story is very vague. Anyway, on to the next one.
I'm a hypnotherapist, and this is one of my favorite stories from doing a session. This girl came to me, and even though she had a lot of issues going on in life, she was always just super happy and took things like really positively. But she had like a weird fear about holding babies and just felt like she just needed more answers in life in general. So we do the session, we put her under, and as we start the session, we find out that she was this cute little lady in the middle of a forest during medieval times because she didn't want to be a part of anybody's kingdom.
What's it with medieval times? Like, did everybody just simultaneously have a past life at that given time? Like,
Well, one of the king's men found her in the forest and convinced her to come live in their territory. And they were promised everything that they want as long as they served the king. Well, her service was to be his surrogate, so have his baby.
again, it's very vague. One of the king's men, the king. Like, they could have been a little more descriptive with it, you know? What does the king look like? What does the king's men look like? What does the forest look like? Because, you know, this should probably be in a historical record somewhere, because a king forcing someone to have his baby is a pretty big deal.
And she did not like that, mostly because she wasn't able to keep her baby when it was done. So she has the baby. She escaped with the baby and took off back into the forest. Watch part 2 for more. Part 2. So in this life, she escapes back to her house in the forest with her new daughter from the king. And for a while, they live a totally good life. She raises her daughter for about 3 or 4 years. But then the king's men end up finding her again in the forest, and this is where it gets kind of...
You would think they would track him down faster because, you know, she ran away with the king's baby, and that doesn't go really unnoticed. I mean, she can't just walk out the front door. You know, so there has to be some conflict.
ugly. They not only took the child back, but they also cut off all of her hair on the spot and then took her as their own prisoner to take her back to the kingdom. She spent her life as a prisoner for about 2 years until her brother ended up breaking her out.
When was her brother in the rest of her life when she was forced to have the king's baby? When was he there? Was he just snoozing? Was he just... And plus, how did he find out his sister was in, like, jail? Because they didn't have any really form of communication back then. Well, like, this just causes more questions than, like, anything else.
And here is the fun part. The baby in that life is her sister in this life, and her brother was the same brother that she has in this life as well. And when she told her mom said it all made sense because when she was a little girl, she used to take her sister out of her mom's hands and say, "Thank you for having my baby." She also would refuse to cut her hair, ever, and would scream if anyone ever tried. And her
That just goes for literally any little kid. It doesn't matter if they've had a past life where they got their hair cut off and they were killed. Okay, it doesn't matter. A little kid will scream if you try to cut their hair. I know from personal experience. I remember specifically doing that. So, it's not special.
and her sister have incarnated many lives together that way because it teaches their soul love.
That entire story made no sense to me whatsoever. Due to the very vagueness of the story, the fact that her brother just kind of came in midway through it, the fact it just makes no sense to me. It's almost sounds like these things are fabricated.
So I did this like meditation thing that a lot of people here on TikTok have been doing, where it's basically you meditate into your deepest self-conscious and remember your past life. The videos I saw of people describing their experience I thought were really dramatic because it was really detailed, but it's actually real.
I don't know what past life regression videos you've been watching, but all the ones I've watched are not detailed. They say things like, the king, the king's men. Now that this woman brought it up, yeah, these things are really dramatic. Like, why isn't there a past life of just of someone just saying, so I was a dude named Gary in 1952, and I worked at an office complex. Like, that would probably be more believable.
I remembered so much about my past life. There is a warning though, this can make you really emotional because mine did. Me, my husband, and my daughter all lived in this house that was in like this swamp landscape, and me and my daughter were really close, and she ended up getting kidnapped from me. The moment she was taken from me, I instantly broke out of meditation and started sobbing. I even saw how I died, which was in a really brutal way, and it's just a lot. If you do this, be careful.
She couldn't think of anything else to make up right then and there, so she just ended the video. Like, the most we got is, my daughter got kidnapped and we lived in a swamp. That is the most vague thing ever. At least with other ones, they had, like, it was medieval times or something to, like, set the time. Just like, nah, we live in a swamp. And my daughter was kidnapped. Like, I don't know the time period. For all I know, the time period could literally be the start of human civilization, or it could have been like 2007.
Fun fact about me, I went to a psychic, and in a past life she told me I worked at a meat packing plant and I fell into the meat grinder and they didn't stop production.
They ate me. So to clarify, about like 50 years ago, 8 people ate my past life body. They ate my meat.
That's unironically one of the most believable ones there. Besides the fact that they didn't stop production, which I think they probably would after, depending on how you go in first. If you went feet first, it'd be screaming, but, I feel like there'd be some time to notice, hey, there's a body in the giant meat grinder. But other than that actually does kind of sound believable that you worked at a meat packing plant and, like, you were killed in a meat grinder. But, unironically, that one probably has the best probability of happening. I think we saved the best for last here. It's time to talk about my personal past life story. And, I think mine is probably the best one. It is the most realistic one out of all of these. So in my past life, I was a guy with blonde hair, glasses, and like an outfit with like a red shirt kind of thing. And I remember very vividly. I was flying over LA, and in a spaceship, and then these aliens decided to shoot the spaceship down, and I crashed. And my objective was to kill all the aliens for shooting down my ride, and it was a very intense. I remember I fought this like giant thing in a football field that I kicked its eye out, and I think my name was Luke Nucleus or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If you liked it, I don't know what to tell you. You like my content. Bottom of the barrel type content. The bottom of the toilet bowl. Not even the bottom of the toilet bowl. What is in the toilet bowl. The poo-poo. The stinky. Anyway, that's pretty much for the video. More commentaries, probably never coming. Who knows? This is probably the only stand content you're getting commentary-wise for a little while. I might do commentary shorts, but who knows how that's gonna go. So, yeah, stay tuned for more content. Anyway, see ya, I guess. Bye.